The state of Kansas has moved into phase 2 of coronavirus vaccine distribution. I'm Zach Dodge with what eligible residents should do to get the vaccine. Coming up.
A new general store opens in Fort Scott, Kansas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Kansas is moving into phase 2 of coronavirus vaccine distribution. This is KOAM News at 6. The shift opens up eligibility to Kansans 65 and older, residents who live in congregate housing like homeless shelters or correctional facilities, and high-contact critical workers. Local distribution will be handled by county health departments. KOAM's Zach Dodge has what Southeast Kansans need to do to get signed up.
We are super ready and we're super excited.
And Cherokee County Public Information Officer David Groves says the same. They're ready to start on phase 2.
The health department started scheduling appointments this morning, and we'll have our first drive-through vaccination event tomorrow here in Columbus.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly has announced the move to phase 2 of the vaccination plan, making 1 million more Kansans eligible to get the vaccine, something that will be handled by each county health department. In most cases, residents will need to have an appointment. So let's go over how to do that. Cherokee County residents should call 620-429-3087 to make an appointment or be placed on the waiting list. Once more vaccine is available, residents on the waiting list will be contacted by the health department. Wilson County is doing something similar and ask that residents call the health department at 620-378-4455. Residents can also sign up on the Wilson Medical Center website. Labette County residents should call 620-778-6272 to make an appointment or be placed on the waiting list. Neosho County residents can call the health department at 620-431-5770. The SEK Multi-County Health Department says residents in Bourbon, Allen, and Woodson counties won't need to make an appointment because they're planning mass vaccine clinics. Those will be announced once they're scheduled. And finally, officials in Crawford County say they're ready to activate phase 2 and anticipate vaccine will arrive in mid-February. But we do not know if they're currently making a waiting list. All of the officials we talked to ask that you please be patient because vaccine supply is still limited, so appointments will be too.
Eventually, we'll get enough vaccine to be able to vaccinate whoever wants to be vaccinated. And we hope that happens sooner rather than later. But until then, we are doing our absolute best.
Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
We've also added this information and a lot more information to the vaccine page on our website. That's koamnewsnow.com/vaccine. Jasper County Health Department reports 6 new coronavirus-related deaths. Officials say the patients include 1 woman in her 70s and 5 men, 2 in their 60s, 2 in their 70s, 1 in his 80s. That brings Jasper County's death total to 119. That doesn't include Joplin. The Joplin Health Department now reports 7 new deaths. Those patients were a 50-year-old man and 6 women, ages 59, 60, 71, 78, 82, and 84. These deaths bring Joplin's total to 112. Doug Eddy joins us now with a first look at the weather. Doug.
Hey, Dow. Pretty good day for us today, even though we had the clouds across the region, but temperatures not that bad. We started at 40. And then we went up to 51 during the afternoon, which is above our average high for this time of the year. We've been seeing a lot of clouds. They broke up a little bit late this afternoon, but more are starting to roll in. So really, let's go with mostly cloudy skies for us tonight. But temperatures, they're going to be cooler, but still not that bad. A couple little waves passing by across the southern parts of the plains. Those will not affect us besides the clouds. It actually looks decently quiet as we work into Friday. Temperatures are sitting into the mid-40s right now. We'll drop back through the evening hours, but at least the winds are fairly light. We have a very light northerly wind at about 5 to 10. Temperatures will drop through the 40s into the 30s near freezing later on tonight, but a lot of storm systems lining up. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks, Doug. Several Southeast Kansas law enforcement agencies team up to find and arrest a suspect in multiple crimes, including shootings in Coffeyville and Independence. Authorities say they found Benjamin Whitaker overnight in Yates Center after an air and ground search. Whitaker had been released on furlough by a Montgomery County judge to attend his grandmother's funeral, but he never came back. Authorities also say Whitaker stole money from an ATM in Parsons while he was furloughed. He's now in the Woodson County Jail. Authorities say a Neosho, Missouri man is dead after a single vehicle wreck last night happened around 9 p.m., about 6 miles west of Neosho. Missouri Highway Patrol says 40-year-old Jeremiah Durbin was heading west on Old U.S. Highway 60 when his vehicle left the right side of the road, hit a tree, and overturned. He died at the scene. Fort Scott, Kansas residents have wanted a local place to get groceries for a while now, and a new general store just opened up. It's called the Star Emporium Downtown General Store. The owner says he wants to provide budget brands as well as locally sourced produce.
There are several local partnerships that we've got in place. We're working with CHC SEK to bring food service, food delivery program to the community.
Construction of that store took about 60 days, and the store opened this week. There's a whiteboard inside where customers can request new items. Coming up, an area hospital celebrates a milestone when it comes to a special heart procedure, and a new hospital in Monette, Missouri is set for its grand opening tomorrow. It's an annual tradition at Fort Scott National Cemetery, the placing of fresh holiday wreaths on every site. Well, employees of Peerless in Fort Scott, also a major sponsor of the KOAM Toy Box, spent yesterday at the cemetery to help clean and preserve the national site. They contain more than 6,000 wreaths over the holiday season. To make sure they observe social distancing, Peerless employees worked in shifts all day long, partnering with the Fort Scott School District to help preserve the memory of those who've served our country. Freeman Health System is celebrating providing more than 200 transcatheter aortic valve replacements, or TAVR surgeries. The minimally invasive procedure is used for heart patients who can't risk open heart surgery. Officials say it requires a team of surgeons and represents a milestone for the hospital.
We think the people in our region deserve the latest evidence-based treatment that's available in our world. So we work very, very hard to have cutting-edge treatments that you wouldn't typically find in a region our size.
Officials say the procedure takes an average of 45 minutes to 2 hours and is done under general anesthesia. Tomorrow, a new Cox Hospital will open in Monette, Missouri, replacing the old one, which was built back in 1953. Construction began on that new $42 million hospital in May of 2019. Reporter Joe Hickman has more.
Located on the eastern edge of town, right as you enter the Monette city limits, the new Cox Health Hospital is the culmination of 17 years of efforts to replace the old facility, which was built back in 1953.
Medicine has changed dramatically since those days.
And so has the world changed since construction began in May of 2019, as it's not easy to build a new hospital during a pandemic.
We did have our workforce get sick, which caused some delays, but also we had businesses closed down. Businesses we were relying on to get equipment here in time closed, and that caused some delays.
But the 100,000 square foot facility is now 3 days away from opening, with increased technology and better amenities, including emergency care, surgery, radiology, and a unique baby delivery area known as the LDRP room.
That's where you labor, deliver, recover, and postpartum without having to leave your room.
The baby really will never need to leave mom's sight now. We can do all vaccinations, bathing, weighing, caring right there with mom. And that's something I've never seen in another hospital.
The hospital's 25 inpatient beds are the same number as the old hospital.
We are critical access. Critical access is a federal designation, and part of that designation means that you cannot have any more than 25 inpatient beds. What it allows us to do is to grow on the outpatient side.
And Cox Health is doing that by moving all 3 of their primary care clinics to this new facility, where 35,000 outpatients will be served in one place.
And for patients, it means we're in a central location where they have direct access to the hospital. If they need to be admitted, we are on campus. So we don't have to drive across town or check in at our clinic and then check in somewhere else.
A new hospital in a rural town is a rarity these days, as many smaller hospitals have closed their doors. This facility was made possible because of community support and the affiliation with a bigger provider.
If we were a standalone hospital, we wouldn't be able to do that. That's my number one message across the state and honestly across the country. If you value your local health care, you need to use them.
Reporting from Monette, I'm Joe Hickman.
Doug Hetty is up next with his complete forecast, and later a Missouri woman talks about how police mistakenly tried to force their way into her home.
Well, it turned out to be a decent day for us today. Of course, a Thursday had a lot of clouds, but temperatures great as we went into lower 50s for highs. And it looks pretty calm for us tonight, tomorrow, and then we start to see some things changing by the time we head into the weekend. We'll have rain chances increasing late Saturday into Sunday, and then even some rain and snow chances on Monday, and then again by next Wednesday as our pattern at least picks up just a little bit over the next few days. Temperatures not too bad, most of us low to mid 40s, and will slowly drop back as we work through the evening hours, and the winds have been fairly light. We have light northerly winds at about 5 to 10. They may increase a little bit for us tomorrow, but at least for us tonight, they look okay. We'll drop back through the 40s, 30s, kind of colder as we drop back right around 31 for an overnight low. We've had the clouds all day long, but nothing underneath the clouds. And in fact, the clouds broke up just a bit over the past couple hours, but now thickening back up as they stick around most of the overnight hours tonight due to a weak little wave that is passing to our south. You can see rain through southern Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, over toward New Mexico, but this will not affect us except for the clouds. So let's focus our attention out to the west. Here's our next storm system right off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. This is the system that will start to affect us as we head into the weekend. It will dig into the southwest. It will eject out late Sunday into Monday, giving us rain and even some snow chances. As it passes by, a second system digs in right behind it, and this will dig a little farther south. And in our pattern, this is the same system we had back on December 13th, which gave us a little bit of snow, gave heavy snow down through parts of Oklahoma. So we got to watch out for that and see if the same setup occurs again. For us tonight, we look okay. We'll see a little bit of clearing late, lower 30s as we head into the daytime hours tomorrow. A little bit cooler than what we saw today, but not cold. 31 to start, 41 by noon, high temp at 46. For us tomorrow night, we drop back into the upper 20s. Look at the clouds increasing by Saturday. We could have a random shower during the daytime hours on Saturday, but our better chances are going to be Saturday night and into Sunday as the storm system starts to get organized. Here's Sunday morning. We can go into Sunday afternoon. You can see the showers starting to pick up across the region. We'll get a cold front that drops through. Rain increases again Sunday night and into Monday morning. And you can see in the pink and the blue right across eastern Kansas and central Kansas. We're going to watch that to see if we can get enough cold air in before the system moves out that we can see a little bit of snow mixing in. So that's our next storm system we have to keep our eyes on. Of course, we have the second one right behind it by next Wednesday. 46 tomorrow, 48 Saturday, 50 with the showers on Sunday, and then 45 and dropping on Monday, so turning a little bit colder. We're not going to have any Arctic air, but we are going to cool down a bit by early next week.
Think you're going to be able to give us a Sunday Arrowhead forecast tonight at 10?
Yeah, we'll work on that tonight at 10. We do have some rain chances, so hopefully it's not too bad for them.
Could affect the game, but either way, the Chiefs will win, I'm sure.
I hope so.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, a St. Louis woman says police there tried to force their way into her house looking for a suspect who wasn't there. Missouri Governor Mike Parson says he'll activate the Missouri National Guard to help with vaccine distribution across the state. Governor Parson says the state will establish mass vaccination sites with a team assigned to each of Missouri's 9 highway patrol regions. Each team will have the capability to administer as 2,500 doses per day. A mother in St. Louis County, Missouri, is speaking about a frightening experience she had with local police. She says officers tried to force their way into her home because they mistakenly thought a suspect was hiding there. Ashley Lincoln reports.
So I said, if I open the door, are y'all going to kill me? Or are y'all going to kill me?
Takita Roseman says it was a harrowing encounter.
My kids are still hysterical. I'm hysterical.
Yes, I was scared. I was terrified.
As North County Cooperative Police tried to barge into her home looking for a suspect Saturday morning.
And I said, y'all is at the wrong apartment. And so they steady knocking on the door. Lakeisha opened the door. I said, y'all at the wrong apartment.
Rosamond was inside with her 2 kids.
They almost actually got in because the door was it was getting loose, and my mama had to hold the doorknob so they wouldn't get in.
She says she was terrified to open the door after seeing cases like the killing of Breonna Taylor and a raid by Chicago police who arrested an innocent woman who was naked in her home after police responded to the wrong house.
One of the officers was just steady trying to, steady trying to get in my apartment. I probably would have been dead.
She says the ordeal lasted around 3 hours.
I lift up my blinds, show my ID in the right-hand corner. I said, if I show y'all my ID, would y'all please leave me alone?
I reached out to North County Cooperative Police. A spokesperson says they were looking for a known suspect with multiple felonies, and their officers thought that the suspect was inside of Rosamond's home. Police say earlier that morning the suspect stole a North County Co-op patrol vehicle, later dumping the car near Rosamond's apartment. They say their K-9 unit tracked the suspect to this complex. The threat of backup brought Rosamond to stop fighting.
And so I finally gave in when they said the SWAT team was arriving. This is just a whole shock to me.
I feel like she did the right thing because it wasn't her.
Again, that was Ashley Lincoln reporting. Rosamond says that police did apologize for the incident. Police say they're still looking for the suspect, but would not release the identity because the investigation is ongoing. As part of his first day in office, President Joe Biden revoked the cross-border permit for the Keystone XL oil pipeline, effectively stopping its development. U.S. Senator from Oklahoma James Lankford issued a statement opposing the order. It says, in part, limiting access to an oil pipeline kills jobs and limits our energy supply. Kicking people who work in the energy sector on day one may help progressive politics, but in Oklahoma, we know our jobs and livelihoods are next. Supporters of the move say it'll help in the battle against climate change and limit destruction of Native American land. Final check of the forecast next. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Charles Conklin served in the U.S. Navy from 1952 to 1956. Commerce, Oklahoma native was stationed in Korea aboard the USS Char, and we salute Quartermaster 3rd Class Charles Conklin, a 4-state hero. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up on our sister station, KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Down tonight at 9, we'll have world reaction to President Biden taking the oath of office yesterday. Plus, a woman in Texas says her father was fired for having COVID-19. And look at this, guys, a story of a dog who followed its owner to the hospital and never left the outside doors until her owner was discharged. Look at that doggy. That and much more coming your way tonight at 9.
You gotta love dogs. Doug Hetty, dog lover, he joins us now with a final look at the weather.
Yeah, and it looks fine for us tonight. It's going to be a little bit colder than what we have seen, at least over the past couple nights, down to about 31. 46 tomorrow, partly sunny skies. Saturday, a random shower could sneak in, but much better chances for rain moving in Sunday. Could even mix with a little bit of snow by Monday.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.